Sauce.
Hey, you like Pez?
It looks like that. Here's Heaney from the boundary line. He's an expert at these. From the boundary line!
Hello and welcome to Behind the Boundary podcast. I'm your host Pez. I'm here with Sauce and you're here for the Cheeky Punt show. This is one of the best double headers you could hope for on a Wednesday night.
What, you and me?
Yeah.
You and me.
On the full pod, straight back to back into the Cheeky Punt pod.
Yeah, by the time you finish the first podcast, you'll be right in time for the Cheeky Punt to get your hopefully winning bets, Pez, because it's been a little bit of a slow start from me. You bounced back last week, but a little bit of a slow start on my behalf.
Oh, slow start? Tell me more, Sauce. Tell me more.
SD ruggling, I think, a little bit. Missed the mark on a couple of games last week and when I had some big stakes there and very costly. And you talked me into your Saints when I had a couple of cans and you should never, what is it, drink and punt. Definitely so.
You asked me, but let's get into our recap.
Soft review. It's no official review. How does it end? We don't know. They've kind of lost, but they've won as well.
All right, Sauce. So we head straight into it. Last week, I staked $190, returned $218.80 for a return on investment of 15.15%. For the year, staked $345, returned $359.70 for an ROI of 4.26%. And after that disaster in round one, I'm happy to be in the positive.
Yeah, something that I hopefully will be there this week, Pez. I had an absolute shocker round two. I got a little bit confident after the Essendon game, and I staked a little bit of a live bet, so that's why mine is over.
Yeah, and actually over the 200.
Over the 200. So I staked 235, returned 128.75, which normally you'd be like, hey, returned $100. That's not bad. Not to be this time. An ROI of minus 45.21%, which means for the year I'm staked 380 and returned 270 with an ROI of minus 28.75, which isn't too bad. It's a little bit of a challenge to crawl back from.
Look,
but
it's pretty bad, but you're lucky it's not round 10 and you're minus 28%.
Yeah.
It's only 2 rounds, so you've got that little bit to make up. But as we always know, listeners on the Cheeky Punch show, you never follow Sauce's advice, and you're always
settle down.
back on Pez. So let's see where it went right for me and where it went wrong for you, Sauce. Last week we had Carlton versus Collingwood. You were really confident on Carlton. I just had either team under 24, which Collingwood won by 21. That was paying $1.72. Had $20 on that, so that was a green tick.
yeah, that was a nice little market for you, Pez. I, as you said, was very confident in 50 in Carlton. I whacked the maximum 50 at $2, and not to be Carlton, just couldn't put through a consistent sort of win there. And it wasn't the actual maximum. Sorry, that was my potential return. I was looking at the green, Pez, but it definitely wasn't that. So I staked 25 and lost 25 for that game.
Yeah, we head over to Friday night, the big controversy that was spoken about all week, Geelong versus the Brisbane Lions. I liked this market last week because I had either team under 24 points as well, and it was a 1 point margin, so $1.72, had $30 on it that time, and another green tick.
Another green tick, and I had my cheeky in this one, Pez, and I think the Cats used up all their lives, and that's why I couldn't end up getting the green tick there, Pez, because it was a bit disappointing. I thought I was on them. Parfitt looked really good towards that second half, and early had a few possessions. Tommy Stewart, he was amazing. He had over 20. Parfitt to kick a goal, didn't get near it, and the over 171 points, that got pretty close as well. So I missed 2 legs there, all on Brandon Parfitt. Last time I jump on him for anything, that's a loss of 10.
Yeah, well, you head to Saturday, Sydney and Adelaide. I had no bet.
Yeah, and I had a really good win here. I put my 25
I remember this.
on the $1.35, thinking that I was going to get my
Your double
winnings, but not to be in double winnings. But it is a green tick, and this was a bit of a trend for the afternoon, and this is where I got my false confidence in, because we went into the next game, Pez, the Port Adelaide game, the minus 32.5, the very, very generous 32.5, and I whacked the maximum on that one at $1.90, and that was where I was victorious. I'm sitting nice and pretty with a nice little return, and had a couple of beers and the liquid confidence got to me, and I threw away a live bet, I think.
Well, I had the exact same bet in the Power Essendon game, minus 32.5, an absolute steal. So the green tick there as well. We head into St Kilda, Melbourne, is where you stuffed up on your live bet, I think, but I also stuffed up because I had the max 50. I was really confident last week. I actually picked my own line and put it out to 11.5. And St Kilda promising during that second quarter, but Melbourne ran all over the top of them. St Kilda did not deserve to win, and all credit to Melbourne. St Kilda cost me that max bet there.
Yeah, as you and I both alluded to, I was very silly, and I should never drink and punt, which was one of the rules that we do talk about. But then you're around the boys, you talk on that. I sent you a couple of messages. You were walking to the game. You sent me Brad Hill, Love Hard Eyes, and at the Marvel, and I'm like, you know what? You talked me into it. Never listened to Pez. -4.5. I jumped on the live bet before the game. That was a donation to Sportsbet. That was $50 down the Dresler.
Yeah, well, you got a better line than me, and still I was happy with that live bet from you. It was no good. But the next game was Gold Coast versus North. I just had Gold Coast halftime line, -9.5. I thought they'd kick the shit out of them, to be honest, but I didn't go with the full line. I just went with the halftime with the young Suns there, and got that up easily, had 20 on that.
Yeah, I had Ben King to kick just under a bag with 4 goals. He kicked 3-1. A little bit disappointing that he couldn't salute that, especially with that depleted defence there. So that was $15 down the drain with all the rest of my bets actually this week.
Well, you should have had him for 3+, and you would have been good.
I should have. I got a little bit selfish in that one. I was trying to get the big return, but not to be. Should have steered clear like my next 2 games.
Sometimes you just got to look at it. You go, oh, do I go the extra goal, or do I just play it a little bit safer? And it's still 3 goals, which is tough to do.
You never play it safe, mate. You always go big or go home.
Next game, Hawks versus the Tigers. I had no bet in this, so all on you.
Yeah, no bet in this one either, mate.
All right, next game, Bulldogs versus the Eagles. This was my cheeky. I went pretty cheeky because I thought the Eagles might win. I went -20.5. Bulldogs obviously won by 7 points, so I lost the cheeky 10 there.
Yeah, lost the cheeky 10 in that one. I was dabbling with it to go with the Bulldogs line, which I'm glad I stayed away because I would have lost that as well. So I steered clear with that one, and I guess that's a win for me this week when I steer clear of games.
That's definitely a win. Now, the Sunday Twilight game, which I've told listeners that I probably won't bet on too often this year, and GWS, I tipped GWS. I thought they would win Source, and I had no bet in this game, but Fremantle ran all over the top of them.
Yeah, and this is where I lost another portion of my big winnings that I had. So that was the maximum 50 on the Giants. And tell you what, Pez, I will not be betting on the Giants again this season. You can put that in the testament, mate, because it's not happening. I'm off them.
Put it in the time capsule, dig it up, and we'll bury it. It's all good. We'll head to the multi-source. Now, I had a multi-paying $13.34. Had Sam Walsh to get 20. That was a tick. Either team 24 or less in the Geelong game. That was a tick. Port Adelaide line. That was a tick. The Gold Coast -9.5. That was a tick. The Saints, I had them -11.5. My Saints let me down from a big $133 return from $10. So I lost the $10 multi there as well.
Yeah, and I had hit 2 out of 3 in this one. Oh, sorry, 2 out of 3 losses in this one. Yeah. The only one I hit was the Gold Coast line at -20.5. I had Carlton on the nose and GWS on the nose.
That's
both
disappointing.
Over $2 when 2 of the things I was really confident in with those 2 teams, put the maximum on those ones, lost it, and That's
disappointing when you do it on a Thursday night and you already lose your multi-source.
Yeah, it is really disappointing. Let's speaking of redemption time. Now, this is where I'm going to get into a Pez because just like my motto was earlier, go big or go home.
Mate, you sound a bit down. We always have, all have a losing round.
Not down.
Get up and about.
I'm up and about, Pez. Here we go.
The fact that the size of the bets was relatively small.
Our bets with an opportunity about 50 metres out.
I was with a mate and we were getting sort of ready to leave, and he said, I think I'm going to whack 10 on Maxi. Do you want some as well? And I said,
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh, that gets you up and about, Sauce. Get ready to go for this one.
Cyril takes a special and goes bang!
Oh, Sauce, you're doing it to me every week. I don't want to do the specials. But
have you been a little bit less lazy there, Pez? Have you put a little bit of a hard-earned little bit of effort into it?
I'll put it out every round. It's going to be there at Behind the Bound, exclusive on Twitter. That's where it's going to be. But I've got a little bit of a rant to go on here because I've stuffed up on the weekend.
Oh, is it because you haven't done the specials the last 2 weeks?
No.
Lazy.
What I did is I'm jumping on to try and get the best price on the Sunday game for the West Coast Bulldogs clash. And I go, points bet. They got the early payout, rounds 1 to 4. If you lead at 3/4 time, you go. So I've put the 150 on, and I've put it on the West Coast Eagles.
Oh, so you ran it at a loss last week, did you?
No, definitely not. Put that on, and then I'm waiting for my payout because they're up at 3/4 time, and I'm going, yeah, this is great. They ended up losing the game, and I'm waiting for my payout, and I'm like, it's resulted. I've lost it. Jump onto the live chat with PointsBet. I've been banned since 2020 Source, so I've actually been banned from promotions there, and I forgot about it, and nothing you can do about it. The bloke, he was an absolute prick. His name was Connor, and
He's called the name out. Called him out.
he had no idea. He kept saying hi to me. And I'm like, mate, you said hi to me at the start. You do not have to say hi to me again. It was not a very very happy conversation there, but stuff points bet, and I've put them in here as well for all the other punters that aren't banned. Take advantage of it if you can, and go from there. So sports bet, they've got kick a goal in the first 2 minutes, you win. If you're on GWS last week, they got a goal in 30 seconds, so you would have been paid out. Ladbrokes, $2 lines on Thursday, Friday AFL games. Neds have the same game multi on Thursday and Friday games, so that's 3 games this round. And then they've got $2 lines as well on Thursday and Friday games. You got the early payout if you're up by 32 points, I think it is, on Bet365. The multi-bet offer on Bet365 as well. Tab have all games, 3+ leg same game multi, so jump on there if you want to do a same gamer. Even though, Sauce, I've got something to say about that.
Yeah, what is
the
it?
odds are shithouse, aren't they?
What a spoiler. There was some great insight there.
For disposals and for goal kickers,
terrible.
They're absolutely atrocious. The 2+, they've gone and go, all right, there's 16 minutes extra footy, and we're just dropping the odds down here. Players are like $1.05, $1.06 to kick a goal. It's not that simple.
No, it's not at all, and it's really disappointing that they can't pull their finger out and just give us a decent market. Like surely they are collecting. I mean, they collected off me last week a fair portion, so surely they're getting enough profit in there. They can just be reasonable people and entice people a little bit more. Yeah. And
ridiculous,
and very ridiculous.
The last one I've got is points bet. Points bet, you can get stuffed. Billy Brownless, you can get stuffed. Dale Thomas, you can get stuffed as well. But we've got the 4+ leg same game multi for them on Thursday and Friday. 1 leg fails, bonus up to 50, and the early payout lead at 3/4 time. You win if you aren't banned from promotions.
See what happens when you put a little bit of effort in there, Pez. You have a little bit more pep in your step. Maybe you're fired up from that, but I think it's because you've done the hard work, and you know that you've approached this podcast with the effort.
Everyone that follows us on Twitter at Behind the Bound, they know I've done the work because I put it out before the round 1, put it out round 2, and I put the same thing out round 3. There you go.
All right, well, speaking of round 3, let's get into the Friday night clash. If you missed, we're not going to be speaking about the actual game in terms of what the trends are in terms of winning. We're just going to be talking about our bets and the things that we like in this game. We've already spoken about that with our On The Full podcast. Make sure you jump on to iTunes or any of your good podcast providers. If you love what you hear, leave a review, 5 stars.
Oh, and you will.
Oh, I will, mate. Well, I'm not gonna leave 5 stars.
You will. I'm talking to
you'll
listeners
love it.
here.
You'll love it. All right, let's get into the Collingwood versus Brisbane game. Originally was Brisbane's home game. I think it's been swapped over to Collingwood's home game now. It is at Marvel Stadium, 7:40 time slot. The line for this game is 3.5 in favour of Collingwood. The head-to-head prices are $1.77 and $2.10 for the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, Brisbane started about 205 earlier in the week, Sauce. They've drifted out a little bit to 210. I do think the Lions can get the win. We went through the ins and outs. Jamie Elliott's a big loss for Collingwood, and I think the Lions are just too strong. They can't go 0-3, and they'll just have to get it done at Marvel. It's not at MCG where Collingwood would be more comfortable. It's at Marvel Stadium. Brisbane, I know they've been in Melbourne all week, but I'll put the max 50 on them at 210 head-to-head.
Yeah, you got a great price with that one, Pez. I've just gone. That's really odd because I sent you the message early in the week saying Brisbane $2.05. I love this market.
Jump on before it goes down,
and it went out. So I've gone Brisbane with the max 50 for that one, Pez. I'm pretty confident in that one, so that means you're in trouble.
So what'd you get? Did you go today or did you go early in the week?
I went early in the week. Went
so
the early crow.
205.
Yep. I assumed that it was gonna sleep in. I thought they were sure going to end up favourites by the end of it, but not to be.
Not to be at all. The next game, Good Friday, North versus the Bulldogs. Interesting discussion we had on our previous podcast, Source, about the game. I've got no bet for this one.
I've got a bet for this one. The odds for this one, if you think that North Melbourne, if you like the doggies at the $1.07, jump on them because they are shortening. North Melbourne are now out to $8.50. When we first started recording earlier in the night, they were at $8. They're out to $8.50. The line is creeping in and probably is going to go further out. It's 42.5. The over-under for this one is 176. So, Pez, you know what I'm going to do when it's an $8.50 line? You've got to go something a little bit
Cheeky.
Oh, I'm scared of you.
Yeah, why are you scared?
What do you got?
I've got a great bet.
Well, tell us.
I've got a same game multi with Tab, so one of these fails, which none of them are going to, Pez. I'm confident about this one.
No.
I've got Bont with 2 goals, which he should be able to do easily. They're going to pile it on there. I found a really little interesting market on the Tab, the margin market. The bookies are so confident in this one that they had a market as 73+. That's the market. 73 plus is the market.
Weird
Not pick your
market.
own line, 73 plus. I love that. I jumped on that one.
Oh,
And
no.
I've gone back to my roots, Pez. I've gone back to one of the cheekies earlier in our career here.
Behinds.
It's been a successful one for us. I've gone the first scoring player of the game, Western Bulldogs
Oh,
goal.
no.
Paying $14, 10 on that one, Pez. You can cash that one in.
No, you cannot catch that one in. That is super cheeky. I'm not sure about that one, Sauce. You've
I
got to
love
be
that
pretty
bet.
lucky
Love
with that one.
bet. Love that bet.
Listeners, up to you. Put your hard earned where you want. Adelaide.
You'll see next week when that comes up, and I'm just sitting there in all the green pairs, and I'm in the ROI as the positive. You'll be loving
You
life.
actually need that one to get
I
up
do.
to get in the positive.
That's why I've gone that one a little bit cheeky.
The next one, Good Friday as well. Adelaide Crows versus the Gold Coast Suns at Adelaide Oval. What are the odds here?
Yeah, Adelaide go in as the outsiders, $2.04, and the up-and-coming Gold Coast Suns, $1.81. The line is -2.5 towards the Gold Coast Suns, and the over-under in this game is 168.5, which I think is a little bit low for both of these teams really being able to put on the scoring attack last 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, what I've done is I've just gone the max bet here. I was going to jump on the Gold Coast line source, but Gold Coast $1.81 head-to-head. I've jumped on that with the possibility with Sportsbet, if they kick a goal in the first 2 minutes, you're paid out anyway, and you don't have to stress for the rest of the game. So max 50 on that at $1.81.
Yeah, you're in real trouble here, Pez. This is the second bet that we've gone back head-to-head with. I've done the same thing. I'm not as confident as you. I've gone the $1.81 Gold Coast Suns with Sportsbet again. If the first goal in the under 2 minutes, which is what the Western Bulldogs didn't do in the play before, so that should just that'll cash it out. But anyway, the Gold Coast Suns, $25 on that one on the nose, Pez, for the Suns to get a win.
Mate, I know I want you to win and stuff, but I hope North get it out of the centre and kick a goal in the first 15 seconds, and your cheeky's gone.
Well, I think when we talk about this a little bit with the bonus bet. If you're going to put $10 down, which we have to every week with the cheeky, why not make it cheeky? And why not give it all types of things to be big margins? And you know what? I've gone really cheeky.
You've gone nearly 3 times cheeky because the cheeky does have to be a $5 odds, which is hard to get to now. I will be honest.
It's so hard pre-round.
With the disposal markets and the goal kicker markets, not happy about that still. And
That's
I'll
why
keep
I've had to go
ranting
that
on
way.
about it.
I can't just sort of sit on the cheeky at $5 and be disappointed when that doesn't get up. At least with this one, I'm not going to get the hopes up.
Oh, we'll see how you go.
Confident.
Next game, we've got Richmond versus Sydney down at the MCG. What do you got here?
Well, first, before we get into what I've got, we get through the actual lines, Pez. Just settle down over there. I can see your ego.
That's what I'm saying. What have you got? Give me the lines.
That's not what I've got. Sportsbet, because I would have this game a little bit closer. Richmond are the favourites, $1.23. Sydney Swans, $4.25 outsiders. The line is 25.5, Pez, and moving. So if you like that line, jump on it early because it's already snuck out 1 point since, again, we've started recording. The over-under for this game, 176.5.
Yeah, it's a big one over under for a Richmond Sydney side where Richmond Hawthorne third quarter last week, they only kicked 1 goal each. I can't go either side head to head. I just don't like that. The line I think is nearly spot on for mine. I think Richmond win by about 5 or 6 goals. So I've gone Richmond 1-39 at $2.20. I'll put 25 on it.
I like that bet. That's a good little bet there, Pez. I've gone a 3-leg same-game multi with tab, 1 leg fails, get your money back. We've spoken so much about Sydney scoring attack and the range of different ways they can kill you. Obviously, the bookies think that Richmond are going to win this one convincingly, so therefore the goal kickers for Sydney, the odds are a little bit juiced up, which is good. So I've got Errol to kick a goal, him to get 20. He's averaged 20 disposals over his first 2, and my man Sam Wicks to kick a goal.
Sammy Wicks.
I put 25 on it at $4.30, and I don't mind that for both of those things. Well, all of those things have happened in the first couple of weeks, so let's keep that trend going with the Swannies.
Keep that trend. Get on to Essendon versus St Kilda.
Yeah, the bookies don't like Essendon at all in this one at $3.66. The line's 21.5, obviously favouring the Saints at $1.29. The over-under this one is 173.5.
Well, the cheeky, what it does allow me to do, so it allows me to bet on my own team.
Cheeky!
And I've gone a 3-leg same-game multi with Sportsbet. No insurance or anything here. I've just gone St Kilda. Big win, 40+. See how they can go. If they're going to do that, Maxi King's going to kick 2 goals, and Jack Higgins, who's been quiet last week, is going to kick 2 goals as well. So that gives me $7 all up.
You could have made that $14 if you chucked in St Kilda. First behind, because you are inaccurate. I can see it now, blazing out. Bradley Hill, open snag, handball to Crouch. He's a terrible kick of the footy. Goes and hits the post, and you'd be kicking yourself when that
Get
happens.
stuff, Sauce. What's your bet?
I'm steering clear in this one Pez, because I didn't like the behinds market in it. It wasn't too much value in it.
You can see where you're going at the moment and your head's at. Hopefully you have a good round this week, mate.
Hopefully.
West Coast versus Port Adelaide, game of the round.
Yeah, we get into an interesting one for this one for the bookies. West Coast versus Port Adelaide. The head-to-head market is favouring Port Adelaide at $1.90. West Coast, the outsiders, $1.94, but then there is no line because it is a pick'em. Now, for me, if it's a pick'em, surely there's no favourite in the game. Like, how can you have a favourite and there not be a pick'em?
There's got to be a minus.
There's nothing. There's nothing there.
Or plus 0.5. It's a little bit silly, but...
a little bit silly. The over-under for this one is 169.5.
Yeah, well, I'm going to stay away from this game. I'm just going to enjoy it here, and I've got no bet.
Yeah, I like Port Adelaide at this one. This is the real test for them. First real test after having only played 3/4 of football over the first 2 weeks against Essendon and North Melbourne. I've gone the maximum here, Pez, or $1.90. I think they can get the job done at SBS.
So head-to-head, you've gone Port Adelaide? Head-to-head.
Correct.
The max 50.
Max 50.
Here we go. All right, next game, Carlton versus Fremantle.
Yeah, in this one, the bookies have Carlton as the favourites, $1.45. Freo Dockers, $2.77 with no Nat Fyfe and playing away from SBS Stadium. The line this one here is a really interesting one, minus 15.5, and I think for the bookies, they've really got this one bang on. Over-under is 166.5.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what this line does close into once the teams are announced. I really hope for Carlton's sake Levi Casbolt is out. I know I said it in the last show, so I just want to reiterate it. Oscar McDonald in for Casbolt and Carlton. You might actually have a chance to actually win a game. No bet for me.
I said that the bookies had this one right at 15.5, but Pez, I have faith in Carlton. It's the last week. I said that on our last show.
Oh, danger.
It's the last week. This is a massive danger game for me, but Pez, you got to put your money where your mouth is, so I've gone the 15.5, $1.90, and I've whacked 25 on that one.
There you go. Best of luck. GWS versus Melbourne.
GWS versus Melbourne, Pez. A team that I'm not betting on is GWS. I'm not even going to bother with the odds for this one unless you're betting on it.
I am betting on it.
Damn. All right. GWS, obvious outsiders after their atrocious opening start to another season. 237, that is, the bookies have them there. $1.59 favoured towards Melbourne. The line is 8.5 and the over-under is 162.5.
Yeah, I don't want the 159 for Melbourne. I don't want the minus 7.5, minus 8.5 line either. I'll just pick my own line here. I've said stuffed GWS. You guys have no heart. I've gone Melbourne minus 20.5 at $2.50. Put $20 on that.
All right, Bez. Last game of the round, the Easter Monday clash of Geelong versus Hawthorne. $1.28 favourite towards the Cats, and the Hawks are the outsiders at $3.73. The line is 22.5, and the over-under is 170.5. Easter Monday, Pez, when you're hungover on chocolate. Is that right? Hungover on chocolate?
If you want to be.
I don't know, sure. Maybe you can have like one of those chocolate IPA beers. That'd be all over you flog. All right, so what have you got for this one?
You're calling me. You're the one that likes. I'm only the very best, mate. Geelong versus Hawthorne. Now, usually the last game of the round source I don't bet on, but I can see some value here, and I really like the big win, little win market at the moment. Geelong to win 1 to 39 points. I don't think they'll blow Hawthorne out of the water because Hawthorne will just stick around. 1 to 39 points is still a big margin, and 6 goals, big margin. So 210 you get for that. I've put 25 on that for the Pussycats.
The Pussycats. I'm steering clear with this one, Pez. We spoke in our previous podcast about the tradition of this game and the rivalry between these two clubs. No matter their ladder position, this is a real danger game, I think, for Geelong, especially with they're underperforming the first 2 weeks. And Hawthorn, they'll get pumped up through the media. So I'm steering clear with this one. That line, though, if I was going to dabble somewhere, I'd probably look at the plus 22.5. I think that's a little bit of value for Hawthorn.
Possibly, and it might go out a little bit further. We will see because we only said the teams on Sunday. But I've put a multi together, Source, and it's just a head-to-head multi. This one, it's a 6-legger.
6 legs. Here we go.
I've put the Bulldogs in at $1.07 there. I've put Gold Coast in, the one that I'm pretty confident in, $1.81. Richmond head-to-head at $1.25. Saints at $1.29. And the Cats at $1.28. That gets me $8.19 altogether, and I put 20 on it.
Oh, nice. So you've broken the rules with that one, Pez. We're normally only meant to put 10.
No rules here.
Oh,
good.
I've
put 200 and you put $35 extra last week, and you shouldn't have.
Shouldn't have.
Because then you wouldn't have lost that $35.
You are correct, but that's your fault for sending me text messages when I'm drinking.
You're the one that asked me. I was on my way to the footy. I'm not speaking to you then.
Not good enough. Well, I'm glad that you've broken the rules there, Pez, because I totaled up before this and I was sitting at 185, so it'd be a little bit rude not to put the last multis for a 15 and otherwise fall $5 short. So I'm glad you've done that.
I know what you're doing. You just don't want to do a live bet again on the weekend.
Especially not, Pez. I am having end of term drinks on Thursday night, so I'm very, very live.
Still in high school, are you, Flog?
Settle down. All right, let's get on to the bet. I've gone same game. Sorry, not a same game multi. I've gone with Sportsbet a multi across multiple games. Obviously, I've gone Brisbane pick your own line plus 17.5. Western Bulldogs to lead it every quarter. Gold Coast pick your own line plus 27.5, and Sydney pick your own line 40.5. That gives me nice little odds of $3.40, and I've chucked 15 on it.
Well, there you go. If you struggle to keep up with that, I'm sure the media manager will be able to put something together and get that out on Twitter for you. So at Behind the Bound on Twitter. I couldn't keep up with it, Source. Don't look at me like that.
Do you want to do it again,
I don't want you to do it again. I'm going to just...
I'm sorry I didn't do 700 different things. And,
I'll get your message across and I'll put it out there. I'll put it out for everyone to see before the round starts. So that's our bet slip. I've gone the maximum 200. You've gone the maximum 200. And happy days. We don't have to jump on board and do any live bets throughout the round, any funny business. Now, last week, Source, I do have to mention this. You said that you hated my bet slip last week. And it was a very successful one, and yours was not. So what do you think this week?
I think you misheard me. I said I hated my bet slip, but I love my bet slip. This one, get on those points markets. There's some absolute value. They're not points bet. They're rubbish. Get on points betting, because if you can bet with the points, Pez, you're going to have a winner.
Yeah, and jump around. I don't know what you're saying.
Nah.
Jump around some of the odds, like the Gold Coast or Adelaide, whoever you like. There's some good odds with the first goal in 2 minute type thing, and the value's probably at the 1 to 39. Market,
for a lot of the games.
Because a lot of games aren't blowing out. We've seen the highest lines being minus 42.5. The highest line before that was about minus 32.5 or 34.5 or something like that. So if you think a team's going to win, most likely they're going to win 1 to 39 unless you think they're going to kick the shit out of them or whatever. But good luck in your punting. Good luck in everything. And I've been Pez. Peace out.
I'm still Sauce. We'll catch up next time, guys.